Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Mahāraja's message is your advantage. The following is a Caitanya Leela compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Mahārāja on January 11th, 2022 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Pangun langayate girim Sri Gurum Dhinatharinam Sri Caitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So today in the compilation of Lord Chaitanya book, the leader of the Māyāvādī sannyāsīs, Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī, implores Lord Chaitanya Part 2. Under the section, how all the residents of Varanasi became Vaishnavas. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila 7.65.
Apuni Prakāśānanda hatete dhoriya Vasaila sabha madhye sammana koriya. Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī, what the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing, seeking to take respect but the respectful behavior of Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī to the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very much appreciated, very much to be appreciated. Such behavior.
Lord Caitanya gave Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī opportunity to render some devotional service. Agyata Sukriti means unknowingly doing something. Which is auspicious. So he may not have known. That by touching Lord Caitanya, by seating him in the assembly,
but praising Lord Chaitanya by seeing him in the assembly with great respect, he was actually
doing some devotional service.
Unknowingly. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.66.
Puchilo tomar naam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Keshav Bharatir Shishya tate tumi dhanno.
Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī then said, I understand that your name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. You are disciple of Sri Keshava Bharati, and therefore you are glorious.
Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī was glorifying Lord Chaitanya.
Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī was glorifying Lord Chaitanya.
This is to his
benefit. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.67.
Sampradai sannyasi tumi rahei grame ikarane amar sabar nakaro darshane.
You belong to our Shankara Sampradaya and live in our village Varanasi. Why then do you not associate with us? Why is it that you avoid even seeing us? Purport. A Vaishnava sannyasi or a Vaishnava in the second stage of advancement in spiritual knowledge can understand four principles, namely the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotees, the innocent and the jealous, and he behaves differently with each. He tries to increase his love for Godhead, make friendship with devotees and preach Kṛṣṇa consciousness among the innocent, but he avoids the jealous who are envious of the Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself exemplified such behavior, and this is why Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī inquired why he did not associate or even talk with them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirmed by example that a preacher of the Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement generally should not waste his time talking with Māyāvādī sannyāsīs. But when there are arguments on the basis of Shastra, a Vaishnava must come forward to talk and defeat them in philosophy. According to Māyāvādī sannyāsīs, only one who takes sannyasa in the disciplic succession from Shankaracharya is a Vedic sannyasi. Sometimes it is challenged that the sannyasis who are preaching in Krishna consciousness movement are not genuine because they do not belong to Brahmana families. For Mayavadis do not offer sannyasa to one who does not belong to a Brahmana family by birth. Unfortunately, however, they do not know that at present everyone is born a Sudra, Kalau Sudra Sambhava. It is to be understood that there are no Brahmanas in this age because those who claim to be Brahmanas simply on the basis of birthright do not have the Brahminical qualifications. However, even if one is born in a non-Brahmana family, if he has the Brahminical qualification, he should be accepted as a Brahmana, as confirmed by Srila Narada Muni and the great saint Sridhar Swami. This is also stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Both Narada and Sridhar Swami completely agree that one cannot be a Brahmana by birthright, but must possess the qualities of a Brahmana. Thus, in our Krishna consciousness movement, we never offer the sannyasa order to a person whom we do not find to be qualified in terms of the prescribed Brahminical principles. Although it is a fact that unless one is a Brahmana, he cannot become a sannyasi, it is not a valid principle that an unqualified man who is born in a Brahmana family is a Brahmana, whereas a Brahminical qualified person born in a non-Brahmana family cannot be accepted. The Krishna consciousness movement strictly follows the injunction of Srimad Bhagavatam, avoiding misleading, hearsay and manufactured conclusions.
So, in Divine Grace, Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī Thakur,
So His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur,
he would award Brahmin trade and sannyas
so he would avoid Brahmin trade and sannyas, award Brahmin trade and sannyas
to qualified Vaishnavas
qualified Vaishnavas
who possess the qualification of Brahmanas.
who possess the qualification of Brahmin.
This was also followed by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
This was also followed by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Now this is a quite dynamic deviation, alteration
So this was quite a dynamic alteration
of the current misconception
of the current conception
that one has to be a born Brahmana.
that one has to be a born Brahmin.
Rather,
Rather,
we see that our previous acharyas,
we see that the previous acharyas,
they would see the qualifications of
They-
someone,
they would see the qualification of someone,
not in their birthright.
not by seeing the birthright. Caitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.68.
সন্ন্যাসী হইয়া কর নর্তন গায়ন ভাবুক সব সঙ্গে লইয়া কর সংকীর্তন.
You are a sannyasi. Why then do you indulge in chanting and dancing, engaging in your Sankirtan movement in the company of fanatics? Purport. This is a challenge by Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the object of Vedanta philosophical research, has very kindly determined who is an appropriate candidate for study of the Vedanta philosophy. The first qualification of such a candidate is expressed by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikshastaka. Pranatapi sunichena tarora pisahizguna amanena manadena kirtanaya sadahari. This statement indicates that one can hear or speak about Vedanta philosophy through the disciplic succession. One must be very humble and meek, more tolerant than a tree and more humble than the grass. One should not claim respect for himself but should be prepared to give all respects to others. One must have these qualifications to be eligible to understand Vedic knowledge.
Lord Caitanya was teaching that one should be humble and meek.
That one should be humble and meek.
We see that these Māyāvādī
sannyāsīs
are very proud and challenging. Lord Caitanya, he responded to such challenge. In a assertive yet humble way.
In a positive and yet humble way. Caitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 7.69.
Vedanta pathan dhyan sannakir dharma ahachari karo kene bhanter karma.
Meditation and the study of Vedanta are the sole duties of a sannyasi. Why do you abandon this to dance with fanatics? Purport. As explained in regard to verse 41, Māyāvādī sannyāsīs do not approve of chanting and dancing. Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, misunderstood Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be a misled young sannyasi, and therefore he asked him why he indulged in the association of fanatics instead of executing the duty of a sannyasi.
Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī.
So Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī didn't understand
Lord Chaitanya's actual position.
Lord Chaitanya's actual position.
Of the value of chanting the holy name.
Of the value of chanting the holy name.
This will be enumerated by Lord Caitanya.
So this will be enumerated by Lord Caitanya. Caitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 7.70.
Prabhave dhitiye toma shat narayan inachar karo kene ithikaran.
You look as brilliant as if you were Narayana himself. Will you kindly explain the reason that you have adopted the behavior of lower class people? Purport. Due to renunciation, Vedanta study, meditation and the strict regulative principle of their daily routine, Māyāvādī sannyāsīs are certainly in a position to execute pious activities. Thus, Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī, on account of his piety, could understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not an ordinary person, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sakshat Narayana. He considered him to be Narayana himself. Māyāvādī sannyāsīs address one another as Narayana because they think that they are all going to be Narayana or merge with Narayana in the next life. Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī appreciated that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already directly become Narayana and did not need to wait until his next life. One difference between the Vaishnavas and Māyāvādī philosophies is that Māyāvādī philosophers think that after giving up their bodies, they are going to become Narayana by merging with his body, whereas Vaishnava philosophers understand that after the body dies, they are going to have a transcendental spiritual body in which to associate with Narayana.
Māyāvādī sannyāsīs think that they are going to be Narayana.
Think that they are going to be Narayan.
And Sripad Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī,
as Sripad Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī
could understand that Lord Chaitanya was special.
That Lord Chaitanya was special.
It seems like
Narayan himself.
But he wondered why.
So he wondered why
He was not engaging
He was not engaging
in the activities
in activities
that the Shankaracharya sannyāsīs
that the Shankaracharya sannyāsīs do.
So, this is a strange situation.
So this is a strange situation.
And Lord Caitanya will answer his queries.
And Lord Caitanya would answer his queries. Thus ends the chapter entitled The Leader of the Māyāvādī sannyāsīs, Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī, implores Lord Caitanya under the section How all the residents of Varanasi became Vaishnavas.
The Vaishnavas never want to merge in the light or the body of the Supreme Personality.
The Vaishnavas, they do not want to merge in the light or the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
It's called as Sahujya Mukti.
It's called as Sahujya Mukti.
And they accept the other forms of liberation.
They may accept the other form of liberation
if it includes serving the Lord.
If it is include serving the Lord.
They want to always engage in the service of Lord Kṛṣṇa.
They want to be always engaged in the service of Lord Kṛṣṇa.
Want to associate with Him.
Wanted to associate with Him.
To have a different
relationship with Him.
They don't want to be one with Him.
They
don't want to merge in His light or His body.
They don't want to merge in His light or body.
Lord
Caitanya
visited South India, and then Central India, came back to Jagannath Puri.
And came back to Jagannath Puri.
He went towards
Vrindavan.
Went to Ramkeli,
Kanai Natshala,
then he came back.
Then he came back.
Because so many crowds of people.
And there's thousands of people.
Then he went from Jagannath Puri.
Then he went from Jagannath Puri,
and
Vrindavan,
on the way back, he came to Varanasi. And he met the devotees.
And he met the devotees.
He met also the Māyāvādī sannyāsīs.
He met also the Māyāvādī sannyāsīs.
So all the devotees, they are going to visit South India.
They are going to visit South India
and Sri Lanka. They should remember how Lord Caitanya.
They should remember how Lord Caitanya
spent many years
traveling throughout
South India.
So that in this way, they will be
South India.
In this way, they will be.
He
blessed South India.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.